course speech.
Well, exciting that our fans get to travel up, get in a car instead of having to make cross-country trips, because we've been out to UCLA before also, and that's a long trip, but for us it also gives us the opportunity to do another extra day of practicing at home, and these guys, they deserve the rest today, and they'll get a half a day in tomorrow before we get back to work, but we're excited, obviously, and something we've expected, since August 25th, and right now they're in a good place. They're in a good place.
There was a lot that happened yesterday after 24 hours. What do you think about what happened yesterday and how you won the conference?
It was interesting, right? A lot of people, after the score was 4-0 in the second inning, everybody's probably at home saying, like, oh, okay, they had a good run, and now let's hope they get in that large bid. But I go back to the Wichita State game. We were 2 outs, down 5 runs, going to get on an airplane, and head back home and lick our wounds, and they scored 5 runs right away and got back on the airplane without a loss. And that was a key turning point for us. And we did the same thing up in Charlotte, down 2-0, 2 outs in the 7th inning, and ended up sweeping that series. So this team, they played the 21 outs, on both sides of the ball. And it's like I said before, it's the most fair game that we have is baseball and softball, because everybody gets the same amount of opportunities. So these guys have bought into that philosophy of making sure that every out is counted for.
Being able to do that, you've got to have an offense that can get it done, clutch and all that. But, man, this offense has been so good. What has been the consistent part of it for you?
I think the buy-in aspect of being able to hit 0-2, and a lot of people don't practice batting practice. They just go up there and go, all right, get a good pitch. But we kind of put them in the dog pile right away where it's like, all right, how do you get out of this? You talk about champions, and every Olympic athlete doesn't necessarily practice the positive all the time. They practice like, hey, when it's bad, how do I get out of this? I get out of the blocks late in a track and field event. How do I get back in and win a gold medal? Swimmer gets off the blocks late. I'm behind. What do I need to do to go win a gold medal? So practicing that part of the game for us has been different the last year and a half. And I think these guys right now, there's no fear.
What's going through your mind when Del wears that line drive for the last time? That was pretty wild.
Pick it up. Pick it up, throw it. But, it was one of those things that our team does. They get in front of things. And, you go back also to one of the people said, what was the turning point of your year this year? I think it was the slide at home plate by Dania Brooks that went to a video review, and she just busted on a ball angle play, third with 1 out and beat the play. And it was that type of hustle and that type of leave it on the line type of stuff that's the hallmark of this team. We don't have any superstars, so to speak. Man, collectively, that's a gang out there.
How would you describe the combination of Payton and Bell, how they've led the pitching staff, and what they, how they yin and yang of those two?
I mean, when you got like Jerry Kuzman and Tom Seaver, lefty and a righty combination, and you can bring them in at any time, it makes it a lot easier for me in strategizing. All right, that type of team, they hit righties real well, so let's throw the lefty and vice versa. So, but they're both cool cats, and they both pound the zone pretty well. And, we've been fortunate that both have not been off together all year. They've been on together, which is good, but if one is not on, the other one is, or off, the other one's on. So we've been fortunate, but they're very mature out there too, and they realize that they don't have to do it all. Payton at one time was a 140, 150 strikeout pitcher. Right now, she's throwing ground balls to Kathy and Alanah. I think we broke the record for double plays in a year for us. So, they understand that it's miss the barrel, right, and getting out. So it makes it easy to pitch that way.
Coach, 2 questions. I'm going to follow up on Joey's one.
Yeah.
I asked Joe Madden one time, I said, how much of baseball is pitching? He said 90%. Mm-hmm. I said, what's the other 10%? He said, pitching. They should call it pitch ball.
Yeah.
What is it for softball?
It's the same thing. I mean, if you're not strong in the circle, you can't control the ball game. You know what I mean? So you can come out hitting all day, but if the other guy is on, you're not hitting him, right? Aaron Judge brought up a really good point a couple of years ago during the strike. Like, what are you working on? I'm just working on getting on plane. Well, tell me what the difference is between going 4 for 4, and then 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. He goes, that day that I'm 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts, I'm not touching that guy. He's just in a different planet, together. And so understanding that person in the circle sets the tone all the time.
Coach, this isn't your first trip to the rodeo. Where does this compare to the rest of them?
I don't know. I'll let you know at the end of it, right? We got to the World Series in 2012. That was special. And this team is on that type of trajectory with the demeanor, the maturity, and the capacity to play the game. So right now, I'm probably having the most fun I've ever had.
Thanks, Coach.
When you say Auburn is like Florida Atlantic, what are you referring to?
They're going to run. They're going to put the ball in play, bunt at any time. They're going to swing. They're aggressive, play flawlessly. They're going to come out street fighting, just like FAU did. And we were fortunate enough to learn some lessons down at Boca Raton. On the first night, we came out and we were coming off a couple of roadies, and we didn't come out with our energy and got our butts handed to us. We came back the next 2 days and, split. And then when we left there, I was really happy with the bus ride home because the bus ride home was quiet, which means there was self-reflection, and they weren't going to let that happen again, and they didn't.
You have a lot of really good players on this team that are tasting this for the first time. How would you, what are you going to tell them about where their heads need to be and all that?
Yeah, we've done it all year. It was interesting yesterday going to the championship game, and the routines were the same. The approaches were the same. But we've also been talking about since August 25th that if you're going to get to Oklahoma City, you're going to play in front of 20,000 people. You're more than likely going to play Oklahoma their first game, just like we did in 2012. You're not going to hear anything, so where are we? And so the preparation part, once again, of celebrating, but also playing in adverse conditions, I think it's helped us out quite a bit.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, gang.
What's the last 24 hours been like to win like you won, and then, you're in the tournament?
Unreal. I mean, this is something like we've been talking about all season, and for it to actually happen was really fun for everyone.
I know you got a chance to reflect. You're not thinking about that when you're playing the games you can, but especially you and Josie. Yeah, I know there's more than this, but you guys waited it out your fifth year. What was it like?
It was awesome. None of us can really stop talking about it. It's been amazing to share the presence of everyone for this moment, and it's something we'll remember for forever, and it's really special with this.
You guys, last time you were in Tallahassee, performed pretty well. Not overall, but enough, right? So you know what it takes. What's it going to take?
All we've got, just to keep on playing, play one more game, to keep making it as far as we can and trusting in one another. And I think this is kind of what we did in the conference tournament and throughout this season so far is playing with the power of friendship and believing in one another.
Yeah.
What was that feeling like? You're coming back 4-3, and then the game stops. Rain delay. Everybody's like, all right, now the momentum. What was the conversation like in the dugout with everybody to make sure that you kept your foot on the gas pedal to make sure that you can complete the comeback?
Yeah. So we went to baseball's weight room actually, and it was kind of quiet for a little bit. Everyone was in their own minds thinking about stuff, and then we started playing music. And there's this one song in particular that we all love. We were all singing, and it's Superstar. And that was just a special moment for everyone, I feel like.
Josie was just singing it.
Yeah. It was cool to soak it all in that moment. But yeah, we were just having fun with each other.
You hate to say it comes down to one game, but when you see what transpired, you're in, North Texas was out. How important was it to just win and know you're in?
Yeah. I mean, that's really exciting. That's something we've never really experienced before. And because it's always we're on the brink of it, maybe. And so to know that we were in, it's kind of a weight was lifted off our shoulders a little bit. But it's really exciting to win for the school. Yeah.
I don't know if you heard Ken mention how Payton has fewer strikeouts. She's pitching lower and trusted with defense. How do you guys work together like that?
It all comes down to trust with one another. And I think that's something we instill in all the players, kind of hold on to the rope. If you don't do it, somebody else will. And it's just trusting her pitches and knowing that she has a defense behind her that's good.
Speaking of the defense, there's nothing like the chemistry between a shortstop and a second baseman. Kathy, just diving all over the place. You guys turn in double plays. Let's talk about what her impact is on the team, whether it's on the field, off the field, and kind of the chemistry that you two have together when you're rolling double plays like that.
Yeah, Kathy brings a lot of energy to the team. All the cheers are mainly started by her. But sharing that chemistry with her on the field, it's we're always reminding our pitchers and the rest of our team, if a runner gets on, we're going to get 2 outs right there. That's our double play time. So just knowing that, yeah.
How satisfying is it for this to be your final act, that you got it done and it's happening and this is how you'll exit?
It's awesome. It's very exciting because, this is something we've talked about at the beginning of the season. We want to go out, we want our T-shirts and our hat and our ring and everything. So it's cool to actually have it.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Coach has said a few times that whatever the date was, August 25th, he knew the first meeting that you guys were going to be an NCAA tournament team. What did you guys feel about your chances and about how special it could be?
No, we all came in and all connected with each other. We knew this year was our year, and we had big things ahead of us.
Nice. What was your thoughts of the whole weekend? I mean, it seems like it was close the whole way. If you guys were behind, you had to come back. It was always tense, but you guys looked normal. Well, I guess you're used to it.
Yeah, I was in an adrenaline rush for sure. But, yeah, we just believed in one another and had each other's backs.
So you knew your name was going to come up there, but when it did, what was it like to see it?
So it was definitely like, wow, like we did it. Like, this is us, and here we are.
You get to be in for yourself, and you're not alone, but yourself for the first time. You
Yeah.
got to be excited.
Oh, for
what's
sure.
the emotions like?
Knowing that when it was going to happen, it was going to be this team, like I said, like when we all first came and like got together in August, I knew it was our time. So exciting, and let's do it.
What has it been like playing for Coach Ken? I mean, obviously a wealth of experience, but especially this year when you have high hopes and then you have so many incredible and fun and entertaining games. Can you put into words what it's like to play for somebody like that?
It's a pleasure for sure. Knowing like you guys are on like this, like understand each other's like way of communication. So
That's important, right? I mean,
Yeah.
for a pitcher, because he's like he'll bring in and out, like he does a great job. It's not like one pitcher pitches one game, so that communication, those lines have to be open pretty much the entire time.
Right.
What is that like with not just you, but like the rest of the pitchers? Everybody knowing their role and have to be ready at any time.
I mean, I feel like he just overall like talks to us like, and he was all like in the loop and like informed, and all the other staff members like we're all on the same page.
I think it was the Wilkes run yesterday that they showed the dugout, and you were the first out of it. So it seems like there's always, whoever's doing one on the field, there's so much support in the bench. What's the atmosphere like?
Amazing. Like we're all here for each other. Like I said, I don't know, we're like very like a hype team. So
The way you won the tournament, does that make you tested going in now to the 64?
no, I don't know. Nothing changes. Like we're still gonna be us, and
It's all a matter of pitching and hitting, right?
yes, correct.
Cool. And thanks, Pete.
Thank you.
All right, so I asked Alanah, you know what's coming. I mean, the injury, the fifth year, how important and big was it for you personally to get back?
Oh my gosh, this was everything that I was just telling Alanah that I could have asked for. I mean, coming from playing the first 2 years, sitting out for an injury, not having the greatest year last year, like I promised myself that I was going to leave it all on the field and just kind of like play free. And I feel like that's what we did. And our goal was to create a team where everyone's comfortable and everyone can be themselves and play at the highest ability. And I think that's what we did. And I think our success is showing that. So I think that's what's the most exciting thing about this season.
You guys have had teams where there'd be somebody that go on a run, a couple guys, but it seems like you guys have been so consistent and so deep this year. Was there something that's been focused on in practice from the very beginning? How did it formulate it, I guess?
I think just buying into our approaches, buying into selecting what we want as a hitter, or our pitchers buying into like what their goal is, whether it's going to be ground ball, pop flies, like hitting location, that sort of thing. It's the buy-in that's making a difference with this team, but also the fact that we're willing to fight for each other no matter the circumstances. So I think that showed in our game yesterday that we're not going to give up, and we have each other's back, and kind of like we want to win for the person next to us more than we want to win for ourselves.
Hold on, just mentioned the song you were singing. I heard you singing it when you walked in before. Well, I mean, put us in, like that could have been your last game, right? I mean, whether you're there, whether you're watching at home, the rain delay, you're coming back, you're like, no, we don't want the rain.
Yeah.
So take us through your mindset in that situation where that could have been your last game, but eventually you guys rallied to win it.
Yeah, so I think once we put one on the board, it was you were getting comfortable, and then two on the board, okay, rain delay happens. I personally was not going back in the game because of substitution. So for me, it was a lot to process during that time. I was like, wow, like, okay, that could have been, you're running through the emotions of, is this it? Is that like, what's going to happen? And throughout the whole time, I never doubted that we were going to come back. Let me just say that. But there was a time when we were in the weight room and we were all just dancing to that song. Like we were all just free. And I was like, okay, you know what? If this is, like, I'm very content because I'm with the people I love. We're doing everything that we can. We're fighting. And that's never a question with this team. We know that no matter what, we're always going to go out there. And that's never, like, I would never doubted that. So I think in that moment, it was kind of just, you know what? If this is it, then I wouldn't want to go out any other way.
when you're sitting here today, it's not a matter of if you're in, it's where we're going to play. Is that a different mentality and a little relaxing?
It is relaxing and it's exciting. I mean, throughout the whole week, I was like, okay, like, you know, I'm a very like anxious person. I'm like, okay, if this doesn't work out, then what's going to happen? Like asking all the questions, but knowing that we're going in, I was like, man, like this is exciting. It's where are we going to go? Where are we going to have an opportunity to play again? Who are we going to be able to play against? So I think seeing where we ended up, I couldn't be more happy.
Well, what if you see the hit it here sign again?
I was just talking about that. I just am so excited to be in front of that atmosphere again. I mean, we got a little sneak peek of it yesterday. That crowd yesterday was just electric, and I think that like got us prepared for this weekend coming up. And so I'm just really excited to play in front of eager fans like that.
How would you describe Payton and Bell as a combination, how you worked with them and what they have both meant to the team this year?
We couldn't have gotten to where we are without them. Those two, they are willing to literally put their bodies on the line. Bell, I mean, taking one off the chest yesterday, that just shows it. Like, they are gritty pitchers, and even if their stuff's not working that day, they're going to figure out a way to go out there and win for us. So that just shows who they are, and that's our bullpen. They're going to go out there, they're going to give you their best, they're going to fight for their team.
How would you describe interacting with each of them? What's the personalities like?
Two totally different personalities, I will say that, but we spend a lot of time off the field and like working on the mental side of the game, working on building relationships prior to season starting. So I think that helped a lot with understanding who you're working with. And as catchers, all three of us, we know how to interact with a different pitcher and what to say, how to get them to push themselves to be better. So that has contributed a lot to our success.
What's Payton like? What's Bell like? Just in that short.
You're going to see a lot of emotion from Belle, and I love that.
Yeah.
And Payton, what I love about her is she's going to stay the same way throughout the whole time. Yeah. So I think those two are like a huge, that shows their personality, but they're both in their mind, they're gonna fight for you.
So it's like a fire and ice?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Playing a team you haven't played, is it just see ball, hit ball?
Absolutely. Every time. See ball, hit ball, play relaxed. There's nothing to lose at this point. So, I mean.
Playing with house money.
Yeah, exactly. And going out there playing, like Coach says, the team that has the most fun is the team that's going to win. So I think that's the goal, have the most fun.
Well, on that note, I assume the glitter is making its way to Tallahassee.
Absolutely.
Who's responsible for that?
Coach Shelby, and then Payton has to make sure that she's the first one that always gets it.
Good point.
So regardless of what happens from this point, at some point later in your life, somebody may say, wow, you guys won the conference tournament. What was that like? I mean, and it's kind of like a story unto itself, but how do you begin to tell that story, or what stands out about what happened yesterday most?
I think just the idea of us coming back, North Texas, great team, but they thought they had it in the bag. And I like to say we pulled in North Texas on North Texas. We're playing a team that is a late in the game team, and we fought harder. We wanted to win it more, and I think that feeling, and it's just unreal. Like, we still haven't processed it because we're like, we just made history, and that was our one goal: hold the rope, make history, and fight for each other.
On some of the TV commentators were saying, "Oh my God, this delay that's not what they want." But was it? I mean, as it turned out, did it help in a way? Or?
I mean, no matter what, we had momentum going into the delay, but I think it definitely gave us an opportunity to come together, take a deep breath, kind of just accept the moment and like take advantage of it. And we're like, okay, this is what's going to happen. Camille's going to get on. This is going to happen. So I think kind of giving us that time to relax, have fun, and just be with each other was beneficial.
Anything else, guys?
Good luck.
Thank you.